What's up, everyone? I'm Justin with Cinema 3D, and I'm with Sam and John. Today, we're going to be talking about Christopher Nolan and his amazingness.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so this is rough because I have to lead this one,
Yes, sir.
but it's okay. So yeah, let's just give a brief history on Christopher Nolan. Pulled up IMDb here. He was born July 30th, 1970 in London. Did not know that. I feel like there's going to be so many things.
I don't know if we thought you'd like that.
You like London, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
John and his London man.
So I guess when he was 7, he found his father's Super 8 camera and started messing around making short films. Then he went on to University College London to study film, and he shot 16 mil there. And that's where he actually began his process of making his first big, film called The Following. But before that, he did do 3 short films, which we've seen one of them.
Yeah.
The one came with The Following Blu-ray.
First one was Tarantella, second one was Larceny, the last one's Doodlebug, which is the one we've seen. It was freaky. I don't even...
Very abstract.
Yeah, it was really weird. But all that to say, let's just get straight into his filmmaking. Following. That was his first film released in 1998. Rated R, only an hour and 9 minutes. So like scraping a feature,
Yeah.
But do you guys remember that one a lot? Because I remember watching that one with you guys, and I really liked it.
It was great. I mean, it's really cool to see him kind of as a young filmmaker still have an idea of what he wants his style to be.
Yeah.
And that's saying something because, you see him finding it in those first few films, but the fact that he already had his, this is how I want to make movies, with the clever twists being one of the biggest things involved in his
Easter eggs
storytelling.
as well, like some Easter eggs in there that you might miss, but that it comes back at the very end. You're like, oh wow, okay. Like you get his style with this, but that first feature,
100%.
the groundwork's has already been laid.
Yeah.
So
And for a first feature, it is very entertaining.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It I was pitching a Chris Nolan movie yesterday, and I was like, you remember you saw this movie to someone, and I was like, so you already know how he can pull you into a story. And it's like, it's great that he's one of those directors that you can feel so confident going into a film before you start it, because you're like, do I want to watch that one? I don't know. But if you know Chris Nolan directed it, you know you're not going to be bored.
Yeah.
You will be brought
agree.
in. Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly how I feel watching any one of his new films, especially going into Oppenheimer, the first trailer. And I just watched the featurette that just came out a couple days ago last night, and I was just like, once I sit down in the IMAX seat and that thing starts going, it's just 3 hours of peak.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, Following, that was, I was very interested in that movie, and it did feel more like a student film as far as all of his filmography as a whole. But that's not to say it's not good at all. I think it is.
Impressive.
It's very impressive.
It's pretty impressive if that's your student film.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember the one thing that we saw, I don't know if it was behind the scenes, but the way the film starts, because the audio, he had an issue with the audio where he didn't have the greatest, tech for that, I guess. But he starts the film in a contained environment. And then after that 3-minute scene, everything just is regular audio. It doesn't sound the greatest, but you don't care about it because you started with some really good audio. And by the end, it's just it sounds amazing. Another one, which is probably his most breakthrough film, is Memento. That one is probably his trippiest film.
Yeah.
I'd have to say so.
That's like the gold standard for Nolan. Is Memento, and that's what really got everybody to really focus and see and watch anything he makes now. It's like, ooh, all right, let's see what else this guy has up his sleeve, because this was great. After this movie, I mean, even big actors knew about Memento and
Yep.
wanted to work with this person named Christopher Nolan, and it's just fantastic. And Memento, yeah, I mean, it is honestly one of the gold standards of like how you should tell a story, or if anything, like a way to take a story and not have it just beat for beat for
Yep.
beat how you normally do it. You want to break the cliche status quo, and you want to like do something even more just like intricate. And there's so many details in that. It's just it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's able to juggle that almost perfectly, if not perfectly.
Yeah, no, it
it's
is
phenomenal. Like, I don't think I can actually do that. Like, the fact, I mean, there's even some videos on YouTube where Nolan's literally piecing together Memento's story. And I'm like, this is phenomenal.
Like that
Like,
Charlie Day
unbelievable.
meme where he's like,
Yeah.
behind him and
Yes, no,
Yeah.
he is the modern auteur director, filmmaker. And, you know, Memento, I mean, the following had laid the groundworks. Memento is what solidified it.
Yep. And it you know, it feels like, again, it's him showing off on his first film of what he can do with a story and how he can tell it. But it's very nice. That's kind of his first, like, I mean, official film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it set the tone for what was to come. Very impressive, but then also, I mean, feels very like a small film.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah. It still feels low budget, down to earth.
Yep.
It's just fantastic. I mean, Guy Pearce has to lead this movie, and he does brilliantly. Like, that's what's great about Nolan, is that he picks actors that are just able to just trust him and just be excited to just act as these characters and just get really invested. And you feel for all of his main characters in all of his films too.
Yeah,
And that's a
absolutely.
testament not only to Nolan's direction, but also to the actors themselves too, who, you know, really believe in his stories. And it's phenomenal.
Yeah, so always a lot of heart in his stories with the lead actor.
Exactly.
They always convey a lot of emotion.
I still blown away that Carrie Ann Moss is in this too.
Yeah, and Joe
Matrix.
Pantoliano,
Yes.
the goat from Bad Boys.
The goat from Bad Boys. Yes.
I can't wait to watch that movie again. I only have seen it once, and it was
I've only seen it once.
in 2020.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I've seen Following Memento once. Everything else I've seen more than once.
Yes.
And
Almost
it's
same.
needs to change because that's the one that I understand it, but like there's so many things that I feel like I'm gonna be like, oh wow, this makes so much more sense now.
I agree.
And that one was only 2 years after Following.
Wow. So what year are we looking at?
that's
Right now?
2000.
98 to 2000.
Yep.
Okay.
And that was
is
also rated R, a little bit under 2 hours at an hour 53 minutes. And then 2 years after Memento was Insomnia, rated R,
right.
hour and 58, 2002, and the dude just, you know, third film works with,
Two of the biggest names
yeah,
in
it-
Hollywood.
I think Insomnia is underrated.
Oh my God, yeah.
So underrated.
I don't know why it's not more talked about. I mean, even among his own library of itself, like,
I'd agree. I actually watched a couple scenes of Insomnia about a week ago. I don't know why. It was probably because, you know, leading up to Oppenheimer, I'm just like, man, let me just I don't know why I just thought of Insomnia. So I watched a couple scenes with Al Pacino and Robin Williams, and it's
Yep.
like, this is well done.
it is.
It is
I don't
so well
know why it's underrated though, because
because it's
it literally
not-
makes no sense, because it's like Memento is rated
Very-
properly.
yes.
I guess maybe because the time element wasn't as intriguing in Insomnia.
I'll tell you what it is. It's based on a property already. Keep in mind that Insomnia is a remake.
Yes, it is.
It was a remake of a film with Stellan Skarsgård, actually, who played Al Pacino's character. And it's a remake. It's not an original IP. Nolan pretty much has usually works with originality and original films, original ideas. So you can argue that this was more of a director for hire, where he's
Right.
just doing it,
Yep.
and just kind of like paying his dues almost. But I feel like even if it's not his normal thing, I think it's so well done.
It is. It's still.
The tone is great. The cinematography by Wally Pfister is phenomenal. Lays a groundwork for his future films.
Yep.
Able to work with great actors. seasoned veteran actors and just able to just craft great performances. I don't know. I just feel like that film is just, it's so underrated.
You know, I think it slips under the radar.
It does. It does. I would recommend if anybody
Yes.
that hasn't seen Insomnia, do yourself a favor and watch it. 2002, I believe. 2002, and it's great. It's a great police procedural film,
Yeah,
investigation,
absolutely.
mystery, and it's suspenseful. And it's great.
Do not watch it while being tired already, though.
I would agree
No.
with that.
Yeah,
I would agree
it's
with that.
easy
I mean,
to
it's
fall asleep
called
in.
Insomnia for a reason.
Yeah.
It
And
puts you in
holy
that
crap.
tone and that mood.
It does. It really, really does.
After that movie, we were going to watch another movie, and then we just called it a night because we were dead.
Yeah. And once again, Al Pacino just being a no-nonsense cop.
Yes, yes. Which I love too because one of Nolan's favorite films is Heat, and you could argue that it's like a dream for Nolan that he got to work with Al Pacino, who was in Heat, and you could argue that Insomnia is kind of like a loose love letter to Al Pacino's character from Heat.
Like
with the
very,
whole-
very similar.
Oh yeah, with the whole investigation aspect and Al Pacino just being Al Pacino and just being crazy, and it's fantastic.
It still blows my mind because, like, trying to put myself in his shoes, if that was my third film, second main film, and you're working with Al Pacino
Yeah.
and Robin Williams,
I know.
I know.
you have to those are the two main actors in your film. That is ridiculous. Like, I would be so terrified.
And to make a film that stands out in Robin Williams' own
know.
filmography.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, this and Good Will Hunting really shows his range. He's not just comedy.
No.
He can play drama and even creepy too. I mean, what he is in Insomnia is really creepy.
Was such a just beyond talented individual.
100%.
Yeah. And then, what comes next? What happened to him after that?
Yeah. What
Sounds
happened to
like
him after
some
that?
company was looking for a director.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe they
what
wanted
turned the
to
tides.
revitalize a famous brand.
Yeah. So 2002, then 2005 comes around. 2 hours and 20 minutes long, PG-13, Batman Begins. This is what turned his career, I guess,
It did.
Oh,
for like
100%.
insane amounts of popularity and respect, because
Yeah, we got to keep in mind that this was a risk too. He's only made 3
Yeah.
films, and he's not he's not up there yet, but I guess Warner Brothers was up to the risk and really loved Nolan's pitch, and the rest is history. And then Batman Begins, arguably one of the greatest comic book films of all time.
100%. I mean, and to handle, just everything, because, Batman's been handled by just so many directors at this point. And to make a movie like that where, not necessarily, I don't see Christopher Nolan being a huge, necessarily comic nerd or anything, but to make a movie that gets the character that well, like, it just shows how much he cares about his films, because you don't find superhero movies that care about a character like that want to do the character justice and make it how he is. I mean, they never even wanted to make a Batman movie like that.
I know. 100%. I mean, there were so many Batman films and Batman stories that were trying to get made in the late 90s and early 2000s, but of course Batman and Robin killed it.
Yep.
And so Nolan comes in and it's like, I want to focus on the character of Batman. I want to make it what he calls hyper reality. I want to just bring it back to the roots and craft a story that will go down in history as one of the great comic films.
Yeah.
So,
and how genius too, to like really pay attention to year one and make a very nice,
that's what's great.
Loose adaptation, but still definitely an adaptation.
That's what's great about it too, is that he does his homework, and he has read some famous Batman stories and implemented them in all three of his films.
Yep.
And that's great because he wants to have homage and also pay respect and just kind of, I don't know, craft a story that everybody can get behind for the character of Batman, and it's phenomenal.
Yep.
So good.
No, he does. You can tell he takes the time to make sure his films are well thought out, especially since a lot of them deal with backwards time, forwards time, going dream states. But like he definitely reads up on stuff, because I just saw for Oppenheimer specifically, I didn't know, but I guess during the production of Tenet, it was Robert Pattinson that gave Nolan the Oppenheimer biography or some book about Oppenheimer.
Really?
And Nolan read it, and he became super interested, and he came back to Pattinson and was like, I'm gonna make a movie on this.
Wow.
And so obviously Pattinson's not in it, but he was the one who technically inspired Nolan to make his next movie.
I didn't know
That's
that.
crazy.
That's
Just
awesome.
because he read the book.
That's so cool.
And like with Interstellar, I'm getting ahead of myself, but he likes, apparently is 95% scientifically accurate with what the human mind can possibly know. And with
Scientifically,
Batman,
with Batman,
it's like
comic accurate is a big deal.
Yeah.
and the fact that he wanted to have a lot of realism in there, it's like it's grounded, but it's also just amazing.
Yeah.
And that's just one out of the three, which might as well just go talk about the rest of the trilogy, then
Finish those.
skip ahead 3 years, 2008, the sequel, The Dark Knight. Like,
I know.
it is, many people say it's the best film ever made.
Yep.
Man, and because of that, it's also considered one of the best sequels ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going back to your Heat statement, feels a lot like that. He had inspiration from that, but it's just a grand story of characters that many people know and love. Batman, Two-Face, Joker, Alfred, done in such a beautiful way that kills you, but also revives you at the same time.
And we'll talk about The Dark Knight, and we already have a bunch, and we're gonna probably talk about it in just so many videos. But it's amazing that in this one, that movie that we talk about, all the time, that it also serves as, his kind of, biggest film he ever made.
Yeah.
Like,
Creme de la creme.
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was doing with that.
No, that's a good point. Is that up to then? Yeah, that's his biggest film ever. That's his biggest film ever made.
Biggest film ever
he's
made.
made. So like,
I feel like after that, he just, for the most part, keeps trying to get bigger.
Yeah,
After The Dark
catapult.
Knight, that's when I feel like he got the most confident.
yeah,
He was just like, all right, I got this. I can work with anyone. I can do anything, and take my time on my craft, because he starts definitely taking a little bit more time with the years as they go on to plan stuff out.
We start jumping into more blockbuster territory
Yeah.
with his films.
but then definitely smart blockbusters.
Smart
That's
blockbusters. Absolutely.
that's what's great, is that it's not just popcorn, and when you're done, you're done. They're his films. You're able to walk away from. It's like, wow, the spectacle was amazing, but then you're also thinking too. And you're like, whoa, so this and this one here and that one. Oh, now I get this, and you want to keep rewatching. Like that's
Yep.
Yep.
a testament to his craft.
Yeah, you can rewatch it to enjoy it. You can rewatch it to learn new things, or just to literally hang out with people, because they all of his films have that vibe. Like, I can pop it on if I just want to have a good time, or if I'm like, I'm gonna sit here and see if there's anything I missed.
Yeah,
And they're smart, and they have accessibility at the same time.
yes, they do.
Very similar to Spielberg in that regard.
Yeah,
Not many directors. Spielberg's films, pretty much anyone can enjoy them.
that's true.
Then there's also, they're blockbusters, but they're also just like incredible cinema as well.
That's a good. That's a good comparison. I see that viewpoint. And like, obviously Spielberg's films for the most part are more like family, feel good. Nolan's is like most of the time really just dark and really serious.
Yep.
Not to say that Spielberg hasn't done that stuff, which he does, but it's a little bit different. But I see where you're coming from, because that is very true. Like, but Nolan's and Spielberg's filmography is very accessible to everybody, and you can walk away feeling good, feeling like, oh, all these emotions, and you want to keep rewatching, and you have fond memories. Like, we all have fond memories of a lot of Spielberg films, and we all have fond memories of Nolan's films, and the dude just keeps going, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah. There's the everyday man will want to see a Spielberg film and a Nolan film. I've been shocked to see how many people actually know who Nolan is, because I thought he wasn't that well known a few years ago. Just like, you know,
Yeah.
like people like us, yeah. But like someone on the street, like going to see Interstellar, they're like, oh yeah, that's Christopher Nolan, right? It's like,
Amazing.
what?
So then that whenever any trailers come up where it's like from Christopher Nolan,
Yeah.
people know that
It means something.
that's amazing. I mean, that he should feel, and he's very humble, but he should feel like I've made it. I have made it. Because now
leagues.
it's like just like Spielberg or James Cameron or George Lucas. Those are auteur directors, and he is in that category now.
Yes.
Whether he likes it or not, he is.
100% he is. Yeah.
But yeah, Dark Knight was definitely his longest film to date, 2 hours and 32 minutes. And then going on to the closing of that trilogy,
Yes.
4 years later, 2 hours and 44 minutes long. Definitely the longest one, again, that he's made, The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, say what you want about it, it's still a solid close.
Yeah.
No, it is definitely.
It has some problems.
It has some problems, and the fact that this might be his worst film. If you think about it, his worst film. That's still impressive
Yeah.
that this is your worst film, because it is still really, really good, and it is a good closing to the trilogy.
I heard a little R in there.
I almost.
Good.
I'm not gonna say great, but it's really, really good.
I think it's still better than 90%, and I'm gonna say that high, of superhero films that have been made.
100% agree with that. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to even really talk bad about it. Because I feel like when we do say there are problems,
Yeah.
people are immediately like, yeah, of course. Or if they don't think there's problems, they're like, no, you're just talking bad about it. But it's like, no, there's a few things. But the film is almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's like a few things could be maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
But yeah, no, I mean, a few problems, because you're coming off of the brilliant writing of Batman Begins and Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And then you see some writing errors and some things that could be better. But then if I pin this movie up against, I mean, a good majority of superhero films,
Yeah.
I'm taking this one.
Yeah, I
Easily.
agree. And I could say that with both DC and Marvel.
Oh yeah,
You
the
compare
whole
both,
genre.
like you can easily just be like, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. But yeah,
Yeah, if you're talking about the trilogy itself, it's the weakest. But once you extend it, it's very strong.
yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Um,
But then,
so yeah, that's the trilogy.
Yeah.
We
Greatest-
skipped over some time. What?
Yes.
or at least one of the
Yeah.
greatest trilogies of all time,
Oh, easily.
tied
Yeah.
for first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Take out my pick. It's definitely the greatest trilogy of all time.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so stepping back a little bit, in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, there's just a little film that not very many people know about. 1 year after Batman Begins, called The Prestige, that has Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson,
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Yeah, that's another thing I was going to say. Batman Begins marks the era of Michael Caine, Bale, what's his face? Cillian Murphy.
Yep.
Like all these people that Nolan ends up working with.
Tom Hardy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Tom Hardy's phenomenal. But yeah, The Prestige. I just want to make sure I get everyone, because I feel like that one has quite a few
I
people
think
in
we
there.
might be missing somebody even in that movie, like a really big name. Beyond, David Bowie.
Yeah.
David Bowie.
That's right.
Yeah.
In a
Andy
really
Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Man.
Really impressive performance from David Bowie as
Yeah.
well.
I would agree.
He doesn't seem like a musician actor.
No.
Oh yeah, it's Tesla. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was always intrigued with. I didn't even know that was David Bowie. I always thought he was really interesting.
Yeah, he was.
But that movie, that movie is really freaking
So
good.
good.
It's another one that's underrated, just like Insomnia.
100%.
Yeah.
Like no one talks about Prestige, but then when you watch it, you're like, "Oh, I watched it in film school."
Yeah.
My film professor said you gotta watch this movie. So I watched it in film school, and I watched it. I'm like, holy cow, this is amazing! It's just so good, and you know and you can tell it's a Nolan film easily with the cinematography, the direction, camera work, the story in general. Like it's phenomenal, dude. The way he
editing.
tells stories is
Yeah.
just unmatched.
If you get up and use the restroom, though, you will be confused.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
100.
I
You
think
have to watch it from start to finish.
this one
That's a
is
great point.
up there with Memento, I think, as the two that are probably the most confusing
Yes.
or hard to track.
You just got to pay attention to
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, the movie itself, I need to watch it again because there was something that someone had told me that the movie itself is, it's like the script and the 3 acts is literally talking directly to the audience, and it tells you exactly what happens in the first like 10 minutes, what's going to happen at the end. But I never got that the last time I watched it, so I need to watch it again, because if that's what it is, that's going to blow my mind even more.
I thought you were going to say the 3 acts serve as the 3 principles of being a magician.
I heard that too, but I wasn't fully understanding it.
Yeah.
But that's to say that I've seen this at least 5 times, and I still have some loops that I need to,
It's the one I watched the most recently, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, I showed my girlfriend this one and loved it. Was
Nice.
hooked the whole time.
That's awesome.
It's just a good movie. Like Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman's performance off of each other is great. Like
The rivalry that they have is phenomenal.
No, it is. It
So good.
really, really recommend that movie as well. I
Yeah.
can't believe that so many people haven't even heard of it. That's a
know.
crime.
I'm literally like
It
stuck
is.
watching the trailer right now. It's I mean, you got Batman with Wolverine, with
Alfred.
Black Widow and Alfred.
I know.
And any number of characters you want to attribute to Andy
Gollum,
Serkis.
Alfred.
Alfred again, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's The Prestige. That one was 2006, and then in between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, Inception.
The blockbuster of 2010.
I don't even.
Yeah.
How do you
Film of the
even
year for sure.
like? Yeah. How do you even talk about this film?
That's a smart blockbuster.
It is.
And it is like monumental. The mind bending that they do in that film, and I don't know. It's just, yeah, you're right. It's like, how do you talk about it? It's just it's an experience.
It is.
And moving on. Once he made Inception, after that his other films became an experience, like
100%.
a true experience.
Yep.
Every time you go to see a Nolan film, you're just in it.
Yep.
You are in it. You're invested, and yeah, I mean, Inception's just the cinematography, the direction, the story. I mean, the idea
Yeah.
of going into people's dreams, and just the whole way he brings that to life is phenomenal.
Yes.
And the tension there too is just so good, and great actors: Leonardo DiCaprio, Cillian Murphy,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, Ken Watanabe, like.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I just keep
reminding us about Joseph.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
But yeah, no, it's phenomenal.
No, it is. It's
Elliot Page. Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a movie I think everyone needs to see.
Yeah, I would say at least once.
Yeah.
At least once in your lifetime, watch Inception.
It's a phenomenal.
And then hopefully you watch it once and you want to watch it again. You know, in a couple of years, and you keep doing it.
If you are a, human being with a heart, you will want to watch the movie again.
And I know it's I don't know if it's a spoiler, but it's a magic movie for Justin.
Oh, I'm trying to hold myself back from a lot of spoilers with this one, because I could ruin all future lists on this video. But yes, that is definitely a movie magic for me, as well as some other Nolan films.
Yes.
He's just that dude. But yeah, Inception, my favorite movie ever.
Yep.
I don't care. I'm just going to say it. It is the perfect movie. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it, down to every single detail: the editing, the visuals, the story, the acting, the direction, and especially the music. That music was revolutionary. I mean, everything since 2010 has tried to copy the Inception bois specifically.
Yeah.
But just the intensity, like you mentioned, and it's Hans Zimmer, like, started working with Nolan for the Batman trilogy, and this was his first one, not Batman. And he just killed it. I listened to this like way too much. It's a problem. I could listen to it to work out, and also I've listened to it to fall asleep. But yeah, so good. It's got so much. What?
You and Leonardo DiCaprio music as your as your sleeping
Yeah,
tools.
Inception and The Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the Revenant theme like your most played song of the year?
Yeah, it was at one point. More than Drake.
Yeah. Wow.
That's because I clicked the repeat button and it kept playing throughout the night.
Right.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I guess Leo's just if he made an album, I would listen to that.
Gosh.
He loves the What's Eating Gilbert Grape soundtrack. You can't.
I have not seen that yet.
It's a great movie.
Yes,
But-
it is.
Inception, just for sake of not trying to talk about Inception the whole time, last thing I'll say is it's got everything in it. It's got drama, it's got action, some sci-fi elements, love, I guess romance, and some of the other categories that I'm missing, but it's got almost every single genre in it. And it's just so good.
Grandfather from Princess Bride could recommend this to the grandson if he was unsure. He'd be, are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's got adventure, romance, true love.
It's got it all.
It is a great modern blockbuster.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Drop.
Yeah. Now, 2 years after The Dark Knight Rises and 4 years after Inception, we have his longest film to date at this point, 2 hours and 49 minutes, 2014,
Wow.
Interstellar.
Oh, to that point. You got
Yeah, to that point. Starring Matthew McConaughey, Michael Caine, Anne Hathaway, what's his dude with the Topher Grace, Casey Affleck.
Grace is in that.
Yeah, I feel I forget it every time. And then was it Jessica Chastain? Yes. I mean, that's just one of the best space movies ever.
That's kind of a spoiler. I'll leave it out. Never mind.
What was it?
Well, I can't say it. If you haven't seen, it's too much. If you haven't seen Interstellar,
I'm glad I forgot about it.
yeah.
But Interstellar, man. That is. Yeah, you can tell what Nolan's trying to go for. It's definitely a homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey, and a lot of sci-fi elements, but it's his own spin on it, and the science that's involved with it. You can tell he did his research. The way the film looks and was shot is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful.
It really is.
It is beautiful, exactly. Every shot is just, there's depth, and it's amazing. Especially with something that's dealing with a lot of sci-fi, you would think that, it has to have heavy CGI special effects. But Nolan, he'll use CGI to enhance a story if he needs to as a tool. But he tries to do a lot that's practical, and I love that.
Yeah.
As somebody who he loves to only shoot on film, and he'll only shoot on film, the fact that he's also trying to still use old school filmmaking and just doing it all in as much in camera as possible, it's a testament to him, and it's just great. Like when you watch it, when you're watching Interstellar, I don't think of it like, oh, that's a special effect. Like I really feel like sometimes it's there. The special effects in the movie are amazing.
Yes.
Even if it is CGI, it's phenomenal.
100%.
I don't think there's any part of any Nolan film that we could even point out that looks bad.
No, yeah.
Like,
Not really. No.
No, that was great. In camera, and he is an auteur, and he's a perfectionist. He wants to make sure everything looks amazing.
John Lithgow.
yes. I thought you said John, let's go with a lisp.
John Lithgow.
John, let's go.
I just want to throw him out there. 'Cause he's in it.
Played Lord Farquaad in
Yes.
Shrek.
Not
Are you
Chris May.
serious?
Yeah. That's him.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
Timothy Chalamet is in Interstellar. I did not know this.
Really?
I forgot that's the son.
Willie?
That's young. That's young.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
He's so big now, like
Yeah.
popularity wise. I didn't even realize.
I thought you meant he grew up.
It's time to see how Willie became Wonka. Did you guys see that trailer?
That actually,
Trailer.
that
That
was fun.
text killed me. I was like, do not say how Willie became Wonka. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it.
I am looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
I am like, have you ever seen it?
We're talking about Peak, and all of a sudden you guys are looking forward to Wonka.
You haven't even seen.
No, I've
Willy
seen.
Wonka or
I've seen the one with
Johnny Depp.
no Gene Wilder.
It's cool. That one.
I think that one's great.
You watch that high
That movie's freaky.
We should.
A tunnel.
tunnel.
Yeah.
With like close-ups of insects and stuff, man. It's like, what in the world?
Maybe I've seen part of it.
Honestly, Johnny Depp's is fine. I don't.
It's
it gets
not bad.
Yeah, it
I
gets
heard-
a lot of
It's not
criticism.
bad. It's very burden. but it's not
very
bad.
burden.
And Johnny Depp just being Johnny Depp from.
Johnny Depp.
I love his what's the line when he meets the kids like, "Hello, Starshine. The Earth says hello."
What?
Yeah.
That is honestly us three interacting with anybody, including kids.
Just trying to speak. Yeah. Attempting the best, and that's what comes out.
Yes.
So yeah, so
Timothy
Wonka.
Chalamet. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet's in this, and yeah, John Lithgow. Mm-hmm. And the top one is Ellen Burstyn, which I guess is Old Murph. I don't know who she is, but I think she's famous. But anyway,
And
Just
it's
think of
Old Murph.
Matthew McConaughey.
when I'm done rolling up this booger,
Throw it out the window.
throw it out the window.
Oh,
Just thinking about making the compilation of him just saying Murph in that movie kills
Yeah.
me. Just Murph.
Don't make me leave like this, Murph.
Murph.
What a
He'll
name
say
to
it
give
so-
to a kid, a
He'll
little
say
girl.
it so many times in a row. Sorry, that was there. That cracks me up. I love Matthew McConaughey.
But about Matthew McConaughey, his performance
Oh, it's great.
always makes me cry in the same scene every single time. I've tried not to,
True.
and it's just so emotional. Like you feel his love for his kids, but mainly his daughter throughout that whole movie. I'm stuck watching the trailer again, but that it's just an epic. That's,
Yeah.
It is.
I think
It's
that's
definitely an
the
epic. Yep.
It is a great. It is actually a great film, and let's not forget the music.
that is.
It's.
I mean, I
one of
could
the
say
greatest.
that is the best soundtrack ever composed. That
It is. It at least.
Yeah.
It's at least one of the greatest for me.
It's the
Like,
best soundtrack. No.
I still listen to it to date. Like I listened to it. I actually listened to it. One of the tracks earlier today.
Oh yeah.
The expanded edition, because that's
Yeah.
even better now.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh yes,
Day
it
One
is.
Dark, like
Day
we were
One
talking
Dark
about the
is
other day. TikTok, not the app, the actual song. That one is so good.
Oh,
Stay with us, Sam.
the numbers were all being written over my.
No, it's this music that you can just listen to while you're doing other things and you're working and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's one of the best
Yeah, 100%.
soundtracks ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just Interstellar. Then
That's just Interstellar.
after that, he takes his
Longest.
second longest break, which is only 3 years.
Oh,
He did that between Insomnia and Begins,
Mm-hmm.
and now he did it between Interstellar and Dunkirk.
I didn't realize they were that close. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Dunkirk and Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years apart. So Dunkirk was 2017. He went back to definitely a lot shorter. It's a whole hour shorter than
I know.
Interstellar, an
That's
hour and
crazy.
46. I mean, I thought the first time I watched it, I wasn't as impressed because I had just come off of Interstellar and probably watching the Dark Knight trilogy and Prestige and Inception. But when I watched it again, I think it's still a really great film. He definitely was trying to do something different with a war film
Yes.
that still involves his element of, playing with time.
Yeah. It stands out for
Yeah.
sure.
And on some rewatches, it definitely makes a lot more sense. when
The
you're watching it.
atmosphere, what he's trying to portray as far as the hell of war. I mean, he does it very well because the atmosphere. I mean, and it's not even gory,
No,
but you get it. You feel
And it's like-
oh my war is hell.
not following
hell.
just one person, more following
The army's kind of.
more of following a group of people.
There you go.
I gotta watch it again. I've seen it once or twice. I can't remember, but it is my least favorite Nolan film. I know that. So I gotta give it another shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very different from what he's usually done, and I think that's what he wanted to do. And it's a story that he was that actually happened, and he was very much wanting to, portray that. It's not like it's not like the other war films that, you know, Pearl Harbor and all this stuff that like that everybody knows. He wanted to do this particular story, and he does that very well. All the acting is superb. The cinematography, now using a different cinematographer, and which you know, I love Wally Pfister, but also Hoyt, what's his name? Hoyt von.
Why do I feel like it's Von Down? But let me see.
But anyways, yeah, the cinematographer of Dunkirk and most of other Nolan's films moving forward. That DP, director of photography, his stuff is amazing.
Hoyt van Hoytema.
Hoyt van Hoytema.
I think he's the one who did Nope and Tenet, obviously.
Oh wow, okay.
Keep in mind too that he was able to make the IMAX cameras using it as handheld, which IMAX cameras are huge and clunky, and so he's able to move the IMAX camera wherever he wants, and that gives Nolan a lot of freedom too. And I love how with each film Nolan's starting to experiment with IMAX, and of course we're gonna now get that peak of IMAX with Oppenheimer, and I cannot freaking wait. Because, you know, and even the director of photography has said that most of the time IMAX cameras are just used for large vistas and big sequences that really showcase the environment. But that said, then you go right back to 35 millimeter. But I love that Oppenheimer is going to be using IMAX for the really personal, intimate character moments too. And it's like, it's going to be sharp. It's going to be probably a little jarring. Probably not jarring, but it's going to be jarring where it's like there, because it is the best quality film. So we're going to see everything, and it's going to be so sharp and so beautiful. The clarity, the everything. I literally cannot wait. That's why we're watching that in IMAX.
Yes, we are.
You have to watch in IMAX. It's made to be shown in IMAX. Do yourself a favor and do that. We got our tickets. We're ready to go, and I cannot wait. This is gonna be like this is the film I've been looking forward to the most this whole year.
Yep, number one. Looking forward to the entire year.
Yeah,
less than 1 week.
Chris Nolan movie. Can't wait.
Literally, 6 days.
6 days. 6 days.
Well, I guess when people watch this, it might be later, but
Good.
or closer. It actually won 2 Oscars. I didn't even know that. Dunkirk. It did.
Really?
It won film editing and sound editing.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's very sad when it didn't win the score, because I love that score too. But I think it got beaten out by Shape of Water.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then I listened to that score and I was like, this is really good.
What are we looking at? 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one stars Barry Keoghan.
There's a spoiler there with one of the actors.
There's a spoiler there with one of the actors.
Yeah, if you're naming them, because one of the actors,
In Dunkirk?
yes, listed is unknown until you get to a certain point, I believe.
Oh
Man, I do not remember, so I'll just
yeah. Good eye.
I'm really curious to see who that is, though. Okay.
Isn't is Harry Styles in it?
Yeah, Harry Styles in this.
Kenneth Branagh
Yep.
as well.
No Michael Caine.
No Michael Caine.
No Michael Caine.
No Michael Caine.
I'm scared to say who else is who, because I don't know if.
From what I remember watching the movie, and when something happened and this actor showed up, I went, whoa.
Was it a whoa of like he's in this, or
Yes.
like?
It was a whoa, like he's in this, and I did not know he was in
I
it.
don't think we're going to risk it.
Yeah, that's not.
We'll talk about it after and see. I could be wrong.
I'll just say it's got some of Nolan's favorite picks of actors that he usually works
100%.
with. So yeah, that's Dunkirk. Still a great movie. Good movie. Another 3-year break. The movie
3-year
that
break.
was the attempt to save the cinemas.
Yeah, literally.
They literally rode everything on Nolan's back in some other film. I can't remember what it was, but Tenet. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Definitely a mixed bag. Some people like love this film a lot. Some people absolutely hate it. They think it's his worst film. I don't really see the hate for it. I think it's still a really good movie. I've watched it the most now, maybe Inception a little bit more, but I know I'm kind of weird by that because I've talked to a lot of people about it, and I get it, like it's confusing and it's long and stuff like that, but I love Nolan and a lot of his films are long and confusing, so I guess I'm kind of just that dude who'll watch it a lot, but it's still an achievement as far as just the way he executed everything. I mean, the whole story is centered around time going backwards and forwards at the same time.
Yeah, I would agree.
Crazy.
With that. I would agree with that. Like it's definitely a spectacle, and yeah, I mean it's still a very smart blockbuster, and yeah, I think it was an achievement for sure with the whole idea of the backwards in time and stuff like that. Like that was really well done, and all of that's like pretty much practical, and it's great to see.
Yeah.
Do you think it stands out the least among his filmography? In terms of just, I don't know if you want to call it even like iconography with it, and then just I don't know, because Inception, pretty iconic. And
Yeah.
the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't know, maybe I love his early films.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they really stick out to people, but to me, they like really stand out. But
I really do feel like Tenet still has that feel of a Nolan. Like you get you see it, like something like Insomnia, that it feels like Nolan, but it also sometimes doesn't, and doesn't have that staple yet of what he's been known for. I feel like Tenet still has that, what Nolan is all about.
I think it has. I don't know. For me, when I watched it was just the one time with you guys. To me, it felt like Nolan, but it felt like a little too Inception-y, whereas all of his other films have a very strong identity.
Okay, see
To
that's
themselves.
a good argument actually. I can see that.
Yeah. This one felt very much like trying to do that type of movie, like an Inception type movie, whereas the others feel like they're not trying to do that type of movie.
Maybe that's what we needed at the time, was something like Inception, but not completely like Inception, but had elements like that to get the spectacle there and people to be blown away. And
I can see
they were
that.
really riding on this film for sure. So maybe that's what it is, that the identity of it kind of doesn't feel like it stands on its own. Is that what you're trying to pretty much? Okay, yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah, 100%. There are elements there that's like, yeah, that reminds me of Inception. That reminds me of this or that.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Memento was 2000, Inception was 2010, and Tenet was 2020.
Wow.
Like every 10 years, he does the heavy hitter with something dealing with time. Memento's,
That's crazy.
I mean, it's not a spoiler, but Memento's like going backwards to forwards while also going forwards to backwards.
Yeah. It's we lost the screen again. It's I guess a little bit of a spoiler with Memento. Not really.
Not really.
No, it happens early on that you start catching that that's happening.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Again, another one you need to watch, but with that one viewing, it stuck with me for now 3 years. I just remember how amazing it was.
But yeah, sorry, I was trying to look at something. Tenet, for some reason enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
I know I'm in the minority, but it's got Robert Pattinson and John David Washington, I think. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm still blown away by this, but I think he's Denzel Washington's son.
Is he really?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that one.
John,
He is.
John David
I can
Washington.
see the resemblance.
Wow, that's interesting.
Oh, that's right.
And they got a lot of the same, like, the vibe that they give off on screen.
Easily, wow. That's cool.
Has he? I can't think of anything else I've seen him in.
The dude from Tenet.
Yeah.
He's in Black Klansman.
Yes, he's the lead actor in Black Klansman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was good.
Yeah,
It was very good.
Inception comes up with his name.
Inception. Is he in Inception?
I mean, it says he is, but
Might be a
I'm not-
smaller
it might
role.
be- yeah, it might be a really small role.
Okay.
But yeah, he's in Black Klansman. the new one coming out soon, The Creator, which actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, directed by Gareth Edwards. Monster, Godzilla 2014, Rogue One.
Yes,
So he's doing this like sci-fi film, and I am on board for that one.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Branagh
Yes.
as the bad guy.
Yeah. As the Russian.
As the Russian.
And then what came after that one?
After Tenet is definitely, after Tenet is the new one, Oppenheimer.
Yep.
3 years after Tenet, going back to his roots, rated R, 3 hours long.
Oh man.
Probably, I don't know. I feel like it's probably going to be his most ambitious, but at the same time, I feel like it's just a long movie. Like, it's his most ambitious cast. It's his most stacked cast.
I don't think it's gonna be his most ambitious.
Not when
I think
it comes
it's
to
gonna,
it, yeah.
Yeah, because like if his most ambitious is Tenet, Inception, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be more of a personal story.
Yes.
And just like it's gonna rock you to the core, especially with the idea of the nuclear, with the nuclear war and just nuclear weapons in general.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get behind Robert Oppenheimer and his fear of what he created. I think that's what's really gonna rock us to the core is that.
And what a story to tell, and what a person to be telling the story.
Yeah.
That's kind of, not in a sense, one of the most important stories in modern history.
It is.
And to have it tackled by Christopher Nolan, I feel like already it's going to be one of the movies that stands out when it comes to a historical biopic.
Oh, I completely agree.
It's going to be at the top of those lists.
I'd be shocked if it doesn't, because like Nolan is doing a loose biopic of Robert Oppenheimer and what he did.
And the better ones are the loose ones that can convey the theme of the person and doesn't have to go beat for beat.
Exactly. You don't have to always do that.
No, you do not.
It's not like, you don't need to do that.
You're trying to convey who this person was and what they were about.
That's why I didn't understand the people criticizing Blonde, the Marilyn Monroe film. It's not a shot for shot, beat for beat of Marilyn Monroe's story.
Yes.
It was definitely based on a novel first and foremost, and there was creative liberties being taken 100%. And I don't know, I really enjoyed Blonde. I probably won't watch it again. It's intense.
Yeah,
but
a lot of I think we watched one a while ago. Adam, the director was Adam something. Vice.
Oh, Vice. Yeah,
Vice.
exactly.
It's not like some of it's not.
They'll admit straight up
true.
that some of it didn't happen, but the point was they did a great job of showing who Dick Cheney was.
Yeah,
and that's what I think a movie like this can do. And I just think that's what makes a good biopic and makes it stand out, is if you make a good film and you still honor or maybe dishonor, depending who the person is, the life you're trying to tell, and you at least tell who they were accurately, the core of their person. That's what matters.
I really hope that we will get the retelling or showing us the famous Robert Oppenheimer speech, the I become death of the destroyer of worlds, because Oppenheimer literally is in tears and just breaking down when he's saying that with what he created, and it's scary, it's beautiful, and it's intense. So I'm hoping that we get that, because Cillian Murphy is perfect casting for Oppenheimer. He does look like him, a younger self for sure. So yeah, I'm just ready to experience this film and just see this stellar cast, a great story, this intensity. I'm ready to honestly walk out feeling like, whoa.
Yeah.
Best movie of the year.
Yeah, I'm ready to just walk out and just be like, wow. Like, I obviously don't want to walk out being like, I hate this world, but at the same time,
maybe it should.
Maybe we kind of need that. We've had disappointment after disappointment with these films. This year, Indiana Jones to us felt good.
To us, it felt really good.
But
Yeah,
it was like good. It felt like old.
we're in the
school good.
minute.
Yeah, I know.
Already
I
on
know.
that.
A lot
But
of
I feel
comments.
like I feel like good old cinema had
Yeah.
a good time.
I did.
But now we're gonna go into good cinema where it's like we got something to say,
Yeah,
and boom, and right to the core. That's what cinema is. You can have fun,
Yeah.
but it can also have other emotions in there too.
yeah. The power of film.
The power of film, the power of visual storytelling.
It's the synopsis. I just wanted to read it because
Yeah.
I skipped over some of that stuff. But a feature documentary exploring how one man's brilliance, hubris, and relentless drive changed the nature of war forever, led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people, and unleashed mass hysteria, and how subsequently the same man's attempt. It just ends. Oh, that sucks. I can kind of predict it's like attempts to deal with what he's done.
Yeah.
Budget was only 100 million.
That actually is very shocking to me.
And they probably blew up a lot of shit making it.
Because I saw yesterday that Nolan said there's absolutely zero CGI in this movie.
Yep, I heard that.
Which is
But think about that though. It's like that's another thing with Hollywood. I mean, Nolan can obviously ask for a big budget for sure, but I feel like I think Hollywood needs to start cutting back.
Yes,
on
100%.
on these budgets because they're not
It's just
the
ridiculous.
return on investment is not doing well.
Yep.
I'm hoping that Oppenheimer makes its money back and then some. But the fact that that's only 100 million, I thought this would be more than that. But that's good
impressive.
to see. Like it's still 100 million as opposed to when Nolan was working with only a couple million, like low budget couple million for his like Memento and Insomnia and whatnot. But it's great to kind of. I'm even more excited. That's only 100 million.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it,
for some weird
like,
reason.
it might be a huge chunk of it might be going to the cast because look at this cast. There's so many people that I didn't even realize were in this. Let's start with some of the smaller ones that we would know. Alden Ehrenreich,
Yeah.
Jason Clarke, Kenneth Branagh,
Josh Peck.
Yeah,
Casey Affleck,
Good for him.
Yeah.
Casey Affleck,
Casey
Gary Oldman,
Yeah.
Dane DeHaan, David Dastmalchian. He's the dude from The Dark Knight, the guy who like wacko in the back of the ambulance.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
yeah, him.
Yeah, from the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man, yep.
the Flat. No. Josh Peck, Rami Malek, Jack Quaid,
Wow, this is insane.
Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, and Cillian Murphy. Or Killian Murphy. I don't know which way it is.
I know Matt Damon's going to be amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I just, from the trailers, I feel like he's going to be a standout performance.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Okay.
I always like Matt Damon.
No, Matt Damon's great, and anything, even if it's not the greatest movie, he does give it his all.
Yep.
Is he playing an American general?
I don't actually know
think
who
he
he is
is.
playing.
So like he might
Leslie Groves.
okay, because he might be that one where it's like we have to make this weapon, and this is gonna change, but we have to do it because the Germans will make it. So like, you're gonna have that dilemma of like he probably is not gonna think this is. I don't even know. Like,
Well, he seems hesitant in the trailer.
he does.
When he's asking him questions, and they're like, "There's whenever they're talking about like percentage of chance and stuff that we won't kill everyone," and he's like, "Well, what does that mean? Like, how sure are you?"
I wonder if it's like in the film, he's so headstrong about getting this done, and maybe the test is what scared the crap out of him. I don't know.
I do want
says-
to watch. What is it?
I just looked up his character. He's a Lieutenant General Leslie Groves, and it says this man may have been even more important than Oppenheimer in the use of the first bomb or first atomic bomb. So he's definitely got a huge part to play in the decision making.
I'm wondering if they'll actually have the president that was
Truman?
yeah. I wonder if they'll have Truman in.
I don't think they're gonna have someone play Truman. I think they're just having. Do they?
You want to know who's playing Truman?
Yes.
Yo,
Gary Oldman.
Gary
Oh,
Oldman's
that's
playing Truman. Oh, this is gonna be
incredible.
amazing. Okay, that needs to be done brilliantly because this is the man. This is the president that's what he's known for.
Yep. Literally what
the atomic bomb, the bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yep.
That is phenomenal.
And Gary Oldman. I mean, again, an actor who can't go wrong.
No, not at all. I mean, he's even like films that aren't the greatest, like the remake of RoboCop. He is the best part. Him and Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
In the remake of RoboCop, Gary Oldman's performance is awesome.
Back it up a second.
That's why you threw Michael Keaton.
Because I was just listening to you, and then all of a sudden, in the back of my mind, it went like, Keats? What?
Yeah,
He's in
Gordon and Batman are in the same movie together. Keaton plays the top dog billionaire who's, it's very sleazy, creating the RoboCop project. Wow. And then you have Gary Oldman, who's a scientist who wants to change people's lives and this and that, and when he literally saves a man's life and puts him in the machine body as RoboCop, and he puts Alex Murphy in there, you see like, oh, you have a second chance, but then you see the him just dealing with that, and Gary Oldman's performance, you feel for him, and it's like, I shouldn't have done this. So that's the thing, is like, he's playing President Truman. I hope we get some great scenes with him as the president.
I had no idea that when you said Gary Oldman, I didn't know he was in the movie. Yeah. But then I didn't know they were even going to really do Truman in the movie. So that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really don't want Nolan to hold back, dude.
I think there's so much stuff. I mean, it's loosely based off of what's going on, because the black and white scenes are objective and the color scenes are subjective,
which is an incredible way to do it.
Very interesting.
Because then you don't even have to look up like, did this happen, did this end? He's like, this is fact.
Yeah,
it's black and white.
Oh,
that's
great.
Look at that.
I feel like that's his way of just getting back at all the comments where it's like, your films are too confusing. It's like, all right, black and white, that's what happened. Color, that's what I think happened.
Right.
Great way to do it. It really is.
But yeah, we're all clearly excited for Oppenheimer. Number one of the year for me.
Yeah.
Not Barbie.
I think
we'll see that eventually.
Sadly, it was tied for my most anticipated of the year for sure with The Flash. Because of Keaton.
Yeah.
Again, back to Keaton. But Keaton returns in another Cinema 3D podcast. We got to get him on this one day. And say, boys, you want to get nuts?
Come on, let's get nuts.
So now we've discussed his entire filmography. We set ourselves up for a part 2, basically, of this podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before... we have to leave a little teaser, and then we'll also update this after we see Oppenheimer next 100%. Week. 100%. I want each of us to go through and give our top 5 Nolan films.
Yeah.
In order.
Perfect.
Now the question is, do we try and add our labels to it? Or do we just keep this cut and dry? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think right now with the labels, because I'd have to really sit down and consider.
I would too. That's why I didn't really want to do it.
We'll just say what our number 5 was and work our way around.
Let's do it.
Kickstarting with Justin, and then
Should we I go all 5 or just 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4?
I love when we go 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4 personally.
Right.
So if you want to go 5, 5, 5, because I do have a little bit of something to talk about with my 5 before I say my 5.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. All right. Number 5 for me.
Yeah.
Is The Prestige.
Nice.
Just
show how not underrated it is.
Yes, I need to put that in there.
Number 5 for me is Insomnia.
There you go.
Also to show how underrated that is.
Exactly.
So what I have written down as my number 5, as we started talking, I was like, is this one my number 5? I was going to say, the one I was going to say is the one.
What just happened?
Trying to explain the one that I'm going to say is the one I was going to say, but one of them almost slipped in and became my number 5 as we were talking. But I just got to now throw in an honorable mention is actually Inception for number 5. because my number 5 is
I'm
going
gonna
to be Insomnia.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, wow.
at the wall.
Okie
No, I know, and that's
wall.
probably the thing that's making me really like, because I can see it, and I'm a very here in the moment type man. So
accurate as hell.
yeah,
Man.
but we're going Insomnia just because of how I can just watch that movie so much, and I think and to throw it in there because it is underrated.
Yeah.
And people need to know how great it is. So
I think all of our picks for number 5 are underrated.
yeah,
I would agree.
Good. All right, number 4. Batman Begins.
wow.
Oh.
At number 4.
It's hard,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
It's
That's,
Wow.
it's rough.
No.
Yeah.
You know, honestly though, I shouldn't be shocked.
it's rough.
I'm shocked.
You're shocked?
Yeah,
I'm not.
I am.
I'm talking about
filmography.
we are
Other
talking
films?
about
Come on.
Christopher Nolan here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I've seen his other films.
Not
I know,
just the
but,
Dark
like-
Knight trilogy.
Nah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
But number 4, Batman Begins.
Number 4 for me
Yeah.
is Memento.
I
Okay.
really wish you said Batman Begins.
I
piss him
probably
off.
would have.
No, yeah, you would have quit. No, hell no.
I'm not
No,
doing this.
no,
It's
Memento,
ridiculous.
Memento for sure, because I've only seen the film I think twice. But every time I think about it or we talk about it, discuss it, I immediately just like, well, yeah, this film is smart and it is great.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, for sure. Number 4 for me is The Prestige.
Very nice.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Well, here we go,
Number
boys.
3.
I feel like both of you, mainly Sam, is just really pissed off at me
am.
right now.
I don't know. I mean, the thing with us is we like Batman Begins, and that's a cinema 3D kind of rule and trait.
I love Batman Begins.
Yeah, but you put it.
There's 11 films.
I know.
And also when I say them, I feel like you'll be able to see why I put that at 4 and not 3.
Yeah. Let's recap on yours really quick.
All right.
So we have your
So
fifth one
my
was
fifth one is The Prestige.
okay.
Number 4 is Batman Begins. Number 3 is Interstellar.
And you just announced it.
Yes.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I get it.
You get it?
Yeah.
These guys
It's
are
a great movie.
It's a great movie.
John hasn't pissed me off. Interstellar is a great movie, though. I mean, it really is one of the standout.
This is
killed him.
this
You
is
literally killed him.
this is the most BS you've ever done without actually like make what?
What?
Wait, why'd you say what? Look right at me. What happened there?
I meant to say he's struggling to have a good poker face right now. You,
Right,
like we
right.
know you're pissed off. He's
I
like,
notice I'm doing this, and I think I'm like fake squeezing something like a stress ball. Interstellar really is a great film, though, and I agree.
I don't think you could come back from that one.
Yo, you killed him.
Okay, what's your number 3?
What's my number 3? My number 3 is The Dark Knight.
The fuck?
All right, now the heat's off me.
It's not for you. What are you talking about?
Oh,
what do you
man.
mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean? Is it's the
I just don't want to have.
all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
There you go. I'm
I
trying to be
know.
diverse over here, you know?
I like how John says, "I don't want to." I go, "All right, that's you're off
You
the
know
hook."
what I'm talking about, yeah. You go ahead and chastise Skinny McGee over here. You do that shit.
We weren't gonna all have the same.
No,
No.
Do you know me?
Nope.
I thought I did, and then you said Batman. You're number 4. Yeah, no, I
man.
get that being your entry, I guess. Yeah. My number 3 is The Dark Knight Rises.
You better not.
He is.
Are you kidding me? That's awesome. Okay, that's hilarious.
I really like those movies. All right, so your number
Okay. My number 2.
and your number 3 was in. Okay, got
My
it.
number 3 was Interstellar. Number 2 is The Dark Knight.
Okay. Yeah.
My number 2 is Interstellar.
All right, now John just won me back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
All right,
You kidding me?
I love it.
Exactly.
Number
We had a moment. And this guy was like, What?
I love it. All right.
Number 2 for me is Batman Begins.
Okay.
What's your number 1?
Number 1 is Inception.
That's fair because that's your favorite movie.
He has to tell that. Yeah, he has to justify it to himself. He's like, it's okay. I'll let him pass with that one. It's his favorite movie.
It's a favorite movie.
Okay.
So what is yours?
My number 1 is Batman Begins.
That a boy, come on. Give the movie
And you
the
totally
love.
redeemed yourself.
Yeah. That makes me happy.
But he put Dark Knight at 3.
I know.
Yeah, but I mean that's cool though because he's got Batman Begins at number 1 and that movie is incredible.
It is.
And it, even though it gets so much love, it doesn't get enough.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think there are people like him who think the Dark Knight are overrated.
I don't think he thinks The Dark Knight's overrated.
He put it at 3.
Yeah, but do you think
He
it's
put
overrated?
it at 3. Look at his smug
You think it's
smirk.
I
overrated?
don't think it's overrated.
I mean, there's no way.
No, it's not overrated, but I would choose Batman Begins over it
And that's fine.
for sure.
I feel like that's your new like shtick.
And that's fine. Well, no, it is because Batman Begins, I'm okay with it being over Dark Knight because I can see elements of it where it is more of a Batman film, but where I get lost is people saying the Dark Knight really isn't that great. That's
No, I don't agree with that at all. That's crazy.
it is.
Yeah.
No, makes no sense.
And that's why my number 1's obviously the Dark Knight.
That was a brilliant segue. Congratulations.
Yeah.
After this guy's like, what are you guys doing? It's Batman. Then you're like, oh, and then Dark Knight is my favorite. Like, what?
So for the sake of me making it easy to post a quick clip, I'm gonna go through 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
You do yours, and then you do yours. My ranking of Nolan's films: top 5. Number 5, The Prestige. Number 4, Batman Begins. Number 3, Interstellar. Number 2, The Dark Knight, and number 1, Inception.
Very nice.
And then my top 5 Nolan films are: number 5 is Insomnia, number 4 is Memento, number 3 is The Dark Knight, number 2 is Interstellar, and number 1 is Batman Begins.
Awesome.
I hit my tooth.
I heard that.
Okay.
And then my top 5 Christopher Nolan films are
Sorry. I hit my tooth. I did it again.
Oh, and I did it.
Yeah, what in the world? I just can't shake that now. It's like this dude literally hit his tooth while I'm trying to take a drink.
I hit my tooth.
It's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it
I
did.
mean, he probably did, but like, what?
Get the shivers.
It's playing in my head over and over again. Go ahead.
And then again, top 5 Christopher Nolan films are Insomnia, The Prestige, then the entire Dark Knight trilogy, going Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight. And there you go.
Oh man, I feel like
that was brilliant.
this whole episode was very fun. It was just the last 10 minutes that sparked the argument.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, Justin. You're the one that led it, and look what happened.
I know, I'm a terrible leader.
I'm gonna be okay.
You only have 6 days to recover because we're redoing this on Friday.
And oh God, I swear. If for some reason you're like, I thought about it and Batman Begins isn't even in my top 5, I'm gonna be like,
I mean, the real question is, where will Oppenheimer make it on our top 5?
that is the real question. Which
I mean, it can.
it'd have a lot of movies to beat out. I mean, I didn't even have. Should just say my next 2 were Inception followed by Interstellar.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to beat out both of those to break into the top 5. And all these movies are probably some of my favorites. I would say up to Inception. Those 6 there would all be probably in my top 50 favorite films.
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah, maybe higher, but I gotta do the math.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
think-
we will see what it does.
Yeah, I'm very interested. I think my number 6 and number 7 is going to be easier to beat, like for Oppenheimer's sake.
Yeah.
But
What are they?
feel like I'm gonna get slayed here.
Oh man.
Number 6. Number 6 would be The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And number 7 would be Tenet.
Okay. Wait, did you mention The Prestige?
Yeah, that's my 5.
Okay.
Number 5.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Damn, he's just caught up on the Batman thing.
Yeah. Mainly Begins, honestly.
Yeah.
Listen, it's because of the fact the last time we watched The Dark Knight, I realized that I liked it more than Begins.
Mm-hmm.
But up until that point, I had always put Begins over Dark Knight. I was just tired of getting beaten down by people thinking that Begins is not better than Dark Knight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you submitted, and then you're just like, "Yep, all right, you're right."
Well, I did realize that I wasn't. I was watching like these characters. That was the thing I'd always struggled with. I didn't realize that I was watching the Joker and Two-Face. I always saw it as someone playing them. So
Yeah, no, you have to. I mean, it's easy to believe that they are them as well. So, but yeah, I think that's our Christopher Nolan discussion, right, Jess?
yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Never done this before.
You gonna take us home?
Yeah, how do I take us home?
Take us home. Just go,
Like that?
Maybe.
and you go, and you go.
It's kind of terrifying.
Go, and you go.
I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night just hearing that.
Yeah. If okay, so yeah. This
Okay, perfect.
This was great.
This was great. Yeah.
This was
great.
good. This was fantastic.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah,
Let's do it
100%.
again.
It's not like we do this anymore.
We will
Yeah.
definitely be reviewing Oppenheimer the same day after we see it.
Yes.
Could be a quick episode, could be a very long one. But we'll be updating our top 5 Nolan films list. And yeah, we're on Threads now,
We're on Threads.
which is kind of cool.
Yes.
You know, had to throw. We've never really thrown our social media in there, which
No, we have it.
We have it.
we have.
Why are we doing it now?
Obviously, we have YouTube.
We have YouTube.
We have YouTube.
If you're not subscribed to us, how are you watching this video? But if you're not, please do.
You made it this far
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
through us laughing hysterically about your disrespect to Batman Begins. So you might as well subscribe. Come on, we'll have fun.
That
The TikTok, the Instagram, and the Threads.
And the Threads.
Yeah, Threads
where
is,
we are.
Threads is weird. But
You want to find us?
also
You'll find us there.
Cinema 3D.
Not on Facebook.
No, I don't like Facebook.
Not on Twitter.
No,
Neither do
that's
you.
why Threads exists. But yeah, so follow us, subscribe to us, and we will see you guys next time.
Time.
sayonara.